My name is Rhapsody, his name is sneakyteak, and welcome back to the Ladder Streak for another week. How's it going, bud?
It's going awesome. I'm glad to be here.
Ooh, I am too, especially with the Watcher. It's just what I'm feeling today. I'm ready to draft a tantrum or two.
We have just finished tomorrow's Take a Peek episode, and so I am ready to fight in fast spaces.
In stark contrast to the other game, which you know, whose guess at any point is
Could
that one
be
gonna
anything.
If you are looking to find that, you'll be able to find a link in the description to the playlist for it. But you know what? I'm feeling a no further ado kind of situation. Let's jump into a Watcher.
I love that. Keep them on their toes, baby. Let's go.
Two spicy options here in my mind.
Are we still max elites?
Yes.
The class for it. This is like the optimal class for max elites.
So let's have a look at the path. Max elite for us, if we are counting this as 2 elites, is either this for 3 elites or cutting in and out there for 3 elites as well.
And that's pretty nice. They're both nice paths. But the spicy elite allows us to take the merchant, which is fairly tempting.
If we lose all gold to transform 2 cards, that becomes less appealing of a situation for us.
True. And that might just be the strongest option at this level, honestly.
Gives
I
us a
love
little bit of
transforming 2
directionality.
defense. Love it.
Let's get aggressive.
It's a very spicy start. And see, when you get a meditate and a foresight, you're glad that you didn't transform strikes.
I couldn't be gladder. Oh, gosh.
Those are good cards. Those are really good cards. And we're Guardian, so Meditate is going to feel great against Guardian, where it gives us a bit of consistency both to leave Wrath and to get strong defensive cards into our hand going into Angry Onion phase, strong damage-dealing cards going into Bipedal Onion phase.
It should work out incredibly well for us. Ooh. Let's just go for the quick kill strats.
It ends. Fights in fast spaces.
You weren't wrong. Ooh, I mean... You don't turn
I think it's
down,
Crush
do
Joints.
you? Really?
The flurry?
Whoa.
I know, it's weird.
I mean, it does. So if the last card played this combat does persist over turn. So if we fetch that with a meditate, we do get the skill play for it.
Meditate's the reason. I love flurry, and I'm sure we will get to one that we want. But I actually think that this Crush Joints is a larger amount of damage dealt to 2 targets we really care to kill right now. Gremlin Knob and Lagavulin. And because of Meditate, one of our sources of stance change denies us the flurry. So I feel pretty good about it.
Very fair. Is there any consideration for an Empty Mind, which can also be brought back with the Meditate, and then the next turn starts with Gain an Energy and 2 cards?
That's true.
It's kind of like the calm version of Simmering Fury.
We're Ascension 4, and we already only have 10 cards, and we could take Empty Mind. That is pretty strong, dog.
We might be able to find another damage card that amplifies our damage more than Crush Joints and see it constantly.
We certainly can. I would rather, as an example, right now, I would rather have a Rush or a Reach Heaven. For sure. I'd rather, there's some cards that are better for us. Crush Joints is good, but it's also not upgraded, and it really wants to be upgraded.
We also do have 3 more fights before we get to our first question mark before the elites.
You know what? Let's take this Empty Mind, because were this Ascension 20, I probably don't take it, but this is Ascension 4. We already transformed. We could really get to a position to where we're drawing through our deck every turn to 2. And like have a really cool deck that just plays the same card, almost minimalist style deck. Also, it's theoretically possible for us to go infinite, particularly if we find like a rushdown. Then we're very close.
I'd love to see a rushdown and a tantrum and just go the hell off.
Do you want to just go off?
I do like infinite builds. I'm quite partial to them.
You're not mad.
It's super slow. I'll keep the vigilance just in case. Nice.
Yo. I like the one-off consecrate.
Mhm.
Like the halt would be nice, but just as a single card that's easy to slot in, upgrade, kill a lot of our threats in the next couple acts.
Yeah, it feels like we're quite threatened by the possibility of, you know, taking the halt, which I still do want as well, and then just not finding any damage cards upcoming.
Yeah, I agree. You know, can I just say also, we are getting better at this playing 2 different games thing. Last week, my brain like did a full inversion. I mean, it was like, it was very strange. It was like that slime stuff that you made as a kid. But this week, I don't know. We're going straight into Spire mode. It's nice.
As we are. I mean, look, Third Eye supplements one of the defends. Like, hyper upgrades one of the defends that we lost.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's that or nothing.
And then
right
we're
now.
done taking basics. Like, we have effectively made strike plus defend plus deck.
Oh, well. Interesting.
Is there ever a world where we pop a potion?
I don't think it's bad to use a skill potion here. Do you want omniscience?
Yeah, we could just like double hit vigilance, full defend against this turn.
Eruption, and we win.
Oh yeah, it will be enough because the second one is going to be amped. Is what? Yeah,
We're there.
1, 2, 3. Lex potion.
I had it.
Lex potion tantrum.
Tantrum! It's clicking. Clicking.
Okay.
We did it.
Next up, rush down. Wheel of Abandon run. Run.
Abandon.
Have I told this story with you?
No.
Do you know this story? You know, so the run statistics, obviously, we look at them sometimes at the end to see what happened, to see how much damage something did. Now with the relic stats too. We had a run on my stream to where I went into Act 3 and I got the gremlin with the wheel. Spun the wheel and it killed me. You've probably died to this at some point too. It doesn't happen often, but in a few times I've died. And so I thought to myself, well, I should go look in the run history and see what it says. Thinking that it would say, you know, something sassy about, you know, getting stabbed to death by a game show host or whatever, right? But in the run log, the cause of death is listed as run abandoned. When you die to getting stabbed by the Kremlin, you're not even given the mercy and kindness of having been killed by something. Your run was just abandoned.
Of course.
It's so sad.
It's. Ooh.
You got it, tantrum, right? Just tantrum, defend, meditate.
30 more damage with a flex pot. I don't think we need to do that though.
If it were a kill with the other card, then I'd be all over it. Like if we had Consecrate, Strike, Tantrum, and we could win. 10, 20, 50 more, yeah, that would have been... That would be lethal, but...
It could secure the kill next turn if we're going Tantrum, Defend, Meditate, brings back Tantrum.
Well, Tantrum will be ahead of us, but we can bring back
Right, of course.
the Consecrate or whatever. And that's pretty good. I still like the play. Honestly, like taking 15 damage here is no big deal. There's a good chance that Flex Potion saves us 20 life in the Gremlin fight or in the Tri-Sentries fight. So I feel like we're okay.
Let's hold the defend. Oh, gosh.
I think we're lethal.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, no.
Oh,
winning.
Dang.
Talk to the what?
Talk to the where? Tantrum's good
This
with
is-
that. Consecrate's good with that. I do have a fixation on seeing a worship and taking a worship in the opening. I
Really?
like it a lot.
How do you ever skip this talk, though?
I'm not going to. It's,
Okay.
I scanned from right to left and I was like, ooh, oh, okay. Well, that's going to be the one we
Worship.
take, but...
I like that. I'm glad to hear that because I strayed away from the divine path for a long time, and I'm starting to get back into it a little bit, and finding that I'm glad to do so.
Yeah, more often than not. Like,
There's times.
it's prey that's really hard for me to take The rest of them I feel pretty comfortable taking. I don't always
you
need a
still have the
tomorrow
back
going
door.
in. I don't
Yeah,
always need
yeah,
a
yeah.
tomorrow going in. It's
But
the
there's other back doors.
worships.
Like-
that...
Oh, really? Okay, so you just take worship and that's okay.
Well, yeah.
The card that I really like
two of those.
with the divinity stuff is
Mhm.
fasting.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're offsetting your energy cost and you're playing typically pretty cheap cards like prostrate. Prostrate becomes really good when it's also blocking for a real amount.
Yep. Definitely works well with those. There's our meditate. I mean, we probably want to do something like pop, wrath, consecrate, meditate just to bring the consecrate back. It's a lot of damage.
I'd be looking for a potential flex spot on this
Put it
turn
in here. Yeah.
to see what it does.
Okay. So the flex pot would be 14 initially, and then this goes to 20 AoE, so we can kill the frontliner with that, and then use defend and meditate just to bring back the consecrate for the next stand.
Or can we then just strike and kill the back line too?
We may be able to. Let's look at the math.
Yes.
Yeah.
we can.
And then we just have damage in the next stand to be able to kill. So why overcomplicate it?
5 damage is pretty nice.
Murder. Hey, speaking of the back door into
Wait a minute.
Mantra.
I'm
Whoa!
creeped out. Oh no. Okay. Okay. Is it? Do you just take it?
Okay.
Do you?
Okay. Oh, okay.
Murder.
We must.
It feels like the part of me is like, hey, whatever. You just skip it. Like look at our deck. Look at our deck.
Yep.
Do we need devotion? Do we need divinity? We're just
Not
mana
yet.
Recycling. But I think you take it anyway because Damaru devotion is pretty cool. The trouble, this is the thing that has killed me on Watcher. This is the like 5% thing that happens on Watcher sometimes. You take a foresight and you take a devotion and you take a rush down and then you draw a hand that's like a Cinder's Bane, foresight, rush down, devotion, strike, and you like die. You take 40 damage. But we don't have a Cinder's Bane yet, so our threshold for that is larger. We have Empty Mind, and we're early enough that yeah, okay, let's do it.
I've got great news with respect to the foresight there as well.
What?
I don't necessarily want it in the deck.
Really? We just don't need it. Really? It's so strong.
Mm-hmm. It is. I am looking into a world where our build doesn't need that at all. I am looking to try and go thin, support the defense while devotion goes off, and then have one big card blow them up.
Okay.
That doesn't work against the heart though.
Well, I mean, you can kill the heart with just tantrums. And now we wait.
Do you want to throw out the foresight as well with the miracle?
Honestly, no, because I think we might actually just be able to close and win. Murder.
Interesting. Meditate back the empty mind. Set up for the next turn to be our waking turn, because we'll have divinity soon.
Consecrate, meditate. Nunchaku management.
Yes. Yes, good point, well made. Okay, we're up on 7.
If we can draw tantrum next turn, we win. Looks like we just might.
Should have played the foresight there, as well as the strike.
And they're waking up that turn anyway, but...
Right? Yeah,
yet,
39.
But, vigilance, empty mind.
Back into the damage town. Then it's
town.
Population.
Destination. Do you want to bottle the devotion?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Over the foresight? You're gonna delete the foresight?
I'm not stuck on deleting the foresight. It is like I'm trying to manage.
This like deeply offends me, right?
I'm trying to manage the amount of setup cards that we have right? And we
Yeah.
don't have
Yeah.
too many at the moment. It's just
It's true.
with Devotion, I'm so keen on setting up a deck that, well, I mean, it'll be fine.
This deck does not need to grow. And if you let me, I will continue to click on cards. And every time I'm gonna be like, okay, but that's the last card. That's we don't need any more cards. And then I'm gonna be like, but you want that flurry though.
Of course. We change stances 3 times a turn a lot of the time.
Talk to the Hand and Tantrum are already a whole deck. And we have this Devotion thing that we want to do. So we want space to add in a really dense attack card, preferably one that also blocks for us, like a Wallop. You know, something like this.
Wallop would be great.
We really don't need much. Flurry works with the Nunchaku though, and it takes the divinity damage quite well. So. And
also with the hand, with the Talk to the Hand, it's got a lot that it's doing in this deck at the moment. Should we 3 enemy? 2 question. I think we should like go from one of the 2 question marks options. It's just, is it 3 question marks or is it a shop? If we agree on that, rather.
I think it's 3 enemies. I think we're so good at Act 1 fights. I just want to find the one other good damage card, and we're not in a position where we need a merchant. We'll be okay against Guardian, and then we can bankroll a really good merchant next act or the act after. Right now, we walk in and we buy like a removal, and then we hope that there's a card on sale. Or we buy a potion, which would have been fine. But I think we delete these enemies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Deleted.
That's a fair deletion right now. There's a world where Perseverance is something, but I'm very much hoping the fights are going to be much shorter than that with the Devotion already in the deck.
Turning on my skip brain.
Yeah.
I now despise all cards by default.
Perfect. Finally.
Am I doing it right?
That's how you got to play.
Are you winning, son?
No Devotion needed on that one.
Oh. Oh. We're gonna kill him with the Consecrate, right?
Yeah.
Can we?
It's just our defense is going to be really, really bad, right? And if we kill him, we're going to become vulnerable.
We'll be okay.
But there may be a world where
we
we take no damage. Like just defend, flurry the back line, and then meditate a empty mind into the next hand, so we can empty out of the Tantrum.
That's perfect. And then do it again, and we'll just win. I'm happy with this empty mind. Particularly with the Divinity now, too. Having a draw positive card, I think, is going to feel nice.
Having hit its upgrade as well is really handy. If this were at the start of the act, I would have taken the Light Water immediately with the Meditate in the deck.
I really like this Deceive Reality.
Very thick block card.
It's the Retain. It's going to make our Guardian much safer. And like a Nemesis.
Pretty sure we're just lining up for the kill next turn.
That's so wild.
So it's 4, 12, 8, 24 total, 18, 42, Talk to the Hand. Yeah, we've got it.
Yeah. Perf. So damage output, like 60.
52 total. Bowling Bash, Protect, Cut Through Fate. I'm leaning towards skip. I could take Bowling Bash as kind of like a consideration towards the AoE fight next floor. You want the Cut Through Fate, don't you?
No, actually, I'm trying to skip, but I really think you take this Bowling Bash. I really do, because you destroy 2 of the 3 elite fights next act, and we're going to fight them. Brings down a bird.
Oh, of course. We have to. 13, we would be unblocked unless we go for Deceive Reality, Deceive Reality.
What?
Right.
Oh,
Incoming
deceive
damage.
Safety.
Yeah.
Safety dance.
We can deceive if we want to.
We could leave the lice behind. Just chose
I
not to.
guarantee they don't dance.
And if the lice don't dance, then they're no friends of mine.
I think that's a good stance to have.
A stance of dancing. A dancing stance?
I called it the stance all of the time as as I was exploring the class ages and ages and ages ago.
Really?
I think I
That's
corrupted
before we even started working together.
I think I started just corrupting the way that I mentioned to it because people just kept correcting me on saying things, and then I just make them intentionally worse to annoy pedants.
But did you go for the full stance dance revolution?
No, unfortunately, that didn't even
Just
occur to me. I
Stance.
wasn't really in the
Okay.
world of stance dance revolution.
Well, neither was I. It just seemed like a fun thing to say.
That's fair.
Okay, but do you want a mental fortress?
Yeah, we are changing a lot. It's a very dense block for us. We're starting to get a little bit more setup, so I'm starting to get skittish about a lot of other things. I really want the devotion upgraded. I think if it's in our opening hand, it has to.
Yeah. It's always going to be useful. You keep letting me click cards. Did you want that card too?
Yes. The two cards that we've clicked so far that were like
felt good?
it or skip were both in the realm of like, yeah, if I was going to take a card, that's the card I would take.
Maybe we will get to a position to where we start trying to more aggressively path through shops for removals. But it's a little hard with max elites. We could end up in a position where we just don't get to. And then, okay, but that works out. In the case to where we're not getting many removals, Foresight is effective draw. It really is one of the best cards in the game, I think. And if we do get lots of removals, then we got the removal. Just dance. Gonna be okay. Just dance.
It really is going to be okay. All that.
What a turn.
I really should have left myself with
Oh no!
another stance. Jokes!
good.
I totally did. It's divinity.
Oh. Ooh. And we're barely block negative when we play these attacks. You love to see it.
You absolutely do. Ascension 4, right? Okay.
He's a maniac.
On the floor, and he's dancing like he's never danced before. No damage.
Full blanc.
No damage, no cat. Let's go.
Mortis. Oh man, it is tights and fast. Fights in fast spaces. You want to learn some lessons?
I mean, it's just if we're going to be
Rhapsody?
doing the Rhapsody kind of thing, lessons learned is perfect.
It is. It's also one of the strongest cards in the game, so it's there's no love lost. Yeah. You know what? No, I would take back my bleh. I love this Astrolabe.
Mm-hmm. 3 strikes, right? No?
I might strike, defend. These defends are very low value for us, especially now that we have Talk to the Hand. In fact, you could probably get rid of all of them, and it would feel fine.
You know what? Ascension 4, we're going aggressive against enemies on the next floor. Let's do it.
Smork. What did we just get? Were those all uncommon powers?
Nope. I think it was Flying Sleeves, Foresight, and Calm Waters. Like water, rather. Flying Sleeves, Foresight, yeah.
Like water is okay. We're usually ending in calm.
Often.
The deck.
Definitely.
Oh no.
Yep.
Okay, we have to go. But there's value and there's a merchant, and that's what we want now. With 330 gold about. Oh, it's gonna be a sweet merchant.
Just adjust it. Absolutely. I'll be taking enough block there. Thank you.
You know, was it the strongest Astrolabe I've ever seen? Nope. But was it bad? No, because we still got rid of 2 defends and a strike. the cards that we replace them with are certainly better. Like Flying Sleeves Plus is way better than a Strike.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to have to micromanage all of these to end with the lesson learned.
Ideally.
I think this turn we just don't really do damage. Don't need another Foresight out at the same time.
I would get rid of the Eruption too. Oh yeah, we have double Foresight now? Yo, double Foresight is not a joke. It seems so silly, but for 2 energy, you can skip 8 cards.
We will have access to a lot of things with it, definitely.
Yeah. Although then you do have to scry 8. So start building up your mental model of what you're gonna skip. I'll be there with you.
Yeah, it's the manual configuration of it. Okay, so wait, that would be lethal, unfortunately.
We don't want to kill.
Oh. Or
Perfect.
do we?
We do.
Increments. Yeah.
Smart. Smart. Talk to the hand upgrade. Ooh. Tasty.
I don't think it's any of those, though, right?
I agree. I think we're good on that front.
Because we
was, like,
have
a
the
brief
cons-
consideration for protect.
Mm-hmm. Because we have the Consecrate, maybe we don't even need the Explosive Potion?
I mean, it's just 10 more damage, right? Like,
It's the gremlin
think-
removal that makes me always think about it on this floor.
I would be totally willing to drop a power potion here. They're very all over the place for Watcher, and we know that this will accelerate a fight for us, and it might make it. Whoa, preserved insectus.
Yes, that's gonna be ridiculous. I'm just making sure we did our time.
We've already done it. Just cover it up. Cover it up. Put something over it. Quick. Just move me. Move me.
there we go.
I'll take the fall.
Oh no, I tapped
Quick.
out, so it's disappeared.
I'll give it to me.
There we go.
Yes.
Oh, over the top of it entirely. There we go. Beautiful. You're like a bouncer in front of it.
No.
I mean, other than this, I really want that vault.
No.
Vault to skip an enemy's turn?
Yeah, Vault's a good card.
Gotta get this down like that. There we go. Although now I've changed the perspective for both. Fine. That'll all get rectified later on. Let's pick up the vault and then run along.
My microphone.
Oh no, now that is actually blocking something. Damn it.
Just push me further off.
Damn it all too.
Get me out of here.
There we go.
Perfect. I mean, I love people to see my setup because I'm proud of it.
Mm-hmm.
But
As well you ought be.
that was a nice store. It's too bad there were only 2 relics.
Just an absolute shame. Really wish they'd fix
But
that bug.
The relic we got was really good. What was the second relic?
It was the treasure chest, tiny chest.
Do you ever buy tiny chest?
No, but I did look at the path first. If it was going to give us another relic on this floor and then maybe next floor, it's just the limiting of our path by going for elites is going to make it difficult to make sure that it actually pays dividend.
Without this constraint, do you ever buy tiny chest?
Maybe in a super early store. I do go to a lot of question marks though, so I tend to exploit it.
Yeah.
A lot of the time for me, it's like 150 gold spent elsewhere right now is probably going to be more impactful than even if this gives me 2 incredible relics.
That's the thing. There's a couple relics like this, and you know, I'm the king of the underdog when it comes to cards and relics. I'm glad to find any way to use anything, and I don't think that tiny chest is bad. It's on the list of relics that I can find very few excuses to purchase. There's a couple relics like this, right? To where it's like, do I think that the relic is useful or usable? Absolutely. Can I imagine buying it in a store? No. I'm trying to think of what other relics are like that.
Gold-related ones, because obviously they come with a giant loss.
Yeah, upfront costs. Yeah, like buying ceramic fish is... Does it even show up in a store anymore?
I don't know. I don't remember the last time I saw it in a store, but
Which is interesting because buying Hand of Greed is very good, but that's because you're also buying a good damage card, right?
Yes.
Whereas buying the money relic is kind of, yeah.
Also, with Hand of Greed, you can easily end up ahead after, 3 or 4 fights, right?
Oh, yeah. It won't take you that long. It doesn't consume.
With the other two, it's way worse. Man, this is definitely a toolkit kind of deck as well, unfortunately. 9, 7, so we can get to 15 and then block full. It's just we're doing no damage until the devotion turn here.
We didn't want to Tantrum Flying Sleeves Vault.
I didn't necessarily. 1 sec. Okay, and then that would be too much. 33. So we go 18, and then we meditate back. I don't want to.
Oh, we had like water. Nice, nice.
Oh yeah, no,
With
I've been making
water.
sure we've been taking no damage on any of these.
Yeah, you're killing it.
Thank you.
I feel like I'm a passenger on this bus tonight. I gotta check in, Teak.
Flurry of blows as well. Signature move. There is a world where that is the damage we're looking for. It's pre-upgraded. We've got a lot of the attacks we've included in are 0 costs, except for lessons learned.
It's really awkward with Lesson Learned, and it's fairly awkward with Tantrum.
But on the
Still
turn
80.
where we pop our divinity, we have enough energy to play everything. It's just because we have like Eruption and Tantrum as well. If those are used as part of it before we play the signature move, we're downgrading the damage from the divinity that would be a reach.
But we're still doing so much damage.
It's a lot.
Like, we're hitting the heart cap.
This
I'm
might
at
be it.
peace with playing around with signature move. It is a cool card, and I think that there's place for it in the deck. Like, we're done with having enough damage for the end game. We just have to deal with it. Ew. Don't.
Yuck.
Ugh.
Yuck.
Well, we have decent block, actually.
Yeah, we've got the 16 that we can block, so we'll take 7 this turn.
Is it like deceive? Yeah, I was thinking about playing the Bowling Bash, but we can't eclipse the 20 anyway. If the enemies collectively have 20 or greater damage in this fight, the cleric is forced to heal.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm always thinking about the 20 mark. I know you know that, but it's one of those things that I feel like reminding every time.
Yeah, our
It's a
block
little
density is real low. Like, we've just gone through all of those cards. We've had the Deceive Reality, this, obviously, conditionally. The Talk to the Hand, conditionally. Like, initial
Can we-
upfront blocks are very gone.
Can we kill this turn, though? Can we kill the Centurion?
So, Talk to the Hand, and then the Flurry of Blows. It's a total of 13. And then we
There's Flying
Tantrum
Sleeves.
12 on top of that. Which 12, 13, it's 25, and then Flying Sleeves is... We're not getting extra energy out of this turn. We're not in Calm.
Flurry 6, Tantrum 12, Flurry 12, Flying Sleeves is what? A 6x2?
Yep.
So it's 24, and we have either an attack potion or an explosive pot, which might be worth using.
Mm-hmm. Where are we getting
Unless
the
the
third point of
plan is-
energy? Because we got this
We're-
hand with an empty mind.
Yeah. I'm not playing the Talk to the Hand at all. I'm just
Oh,
playing Flurry,
right.
Tantrum, Flurry, Consecrate, Flying Sleeves. And follow up. Nice. Nice.
2 increments on the
value.
Nunchaku.
Mhm.
All right. And then we're leaving the correct target here as well. We're not going to go into Divinity this turn, right? No. Okay.
Not quite. But next turn, yes. Ha! Lining up this lesson learned might be a little tricky, Rick.
It definitely is. We may just like reach it and another damage card right now. We do not.
Ooh. The follow-up is too much damage too. Wow, everything too much. Too strong.
Far too strong for the enemies now. Okay.
18.
Going for a whole nother cycle here.
Close. Can we meditate it?
Oh, that's 100. All right, of course. Exit that. It's not going to be enough.
Oh
Still.
boy. Oh, at least we can get out more powers. That's good.
Fewer dead draws in the deck now.
And
There
freak
we
out.
go.
We're there. We done.
We lesson learn first. Sorry, yeah, just increment the Nunchaku.
Play the card. Okay. There's 2 cards here that I really like. Also, that's an upgraded Bowling Bash. Why did we take the Bowling Bash that wasn't upgraded?
I don't know.
Fine, we have less.
Someone certainly had contributed to the decision.
we have lesson learned, so the whole deck's going to be upgraded.
It's true.
Which is it, though? Is it fasting or is it prostrate? Prostrate is the direction that says signature move is my plays.
Mm-hmm. A lot of our block
then it kinda
is
wants
developed
the
from Talk to the Hand, from Like Water,
Mm-hmm.
from Mental Fortress, sources that will not be amplified by that dex. The strength is great, but we have like 1, 2,
Yeah.
3 block cards.
I do like this prostrate just because it gives us a little bit of flex on when we divinity.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes a dexterity or a, like, you know, orange pellet speed potion quite nicely.
Yep. I would be more than happy to take the prostrate because being able to, as you just said, like choose the turn that we actually enter that stance is super effective.
Mm-hmm. We need more draw, though. We do. So we have to go left here. I'm quite excited for this path, though. We have all the right gear.
It's going to be super good. Now we
Is
should probably think about which of these upgrades.
My brain immediately snaps to bowling, consecrate, lesson learned, vault as the highest value upgrades here for this path. And it's leaning bowling because bowling is very effective in both Gremlin Leader and Tri-Slavers.
Yep. I'm happy with that.
Against Book, we just need to land signature move. We need to survive the 3 turns that it takes to get there and play it.
We're trying to think of a world where like the Consecrate was going to serve enough in the Gremlin Leader as well as the Slaver fight to be fine.
Yeah.
Couldn't find my way there. Devotion Prostrate, skip turn.
Vault. Yeah.
Yeah, with the...
I don't think we should worry about reading this book. We just need to worry about deleting this book.
Mm-hmm. All the vaults, by the way, because we're getting 4 mantra a turn, we are doing something whilst the vaults are happening.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Not doing so much here, though. Do we want to maybe draw 3?
I'm tempted by Swift.
Because we can also third... I mean,
Third
we're always
eye.
going to third eye, so we can choose our 3.
Discard Flurry. Discard Foresight.
Take like Water Vigilance, not be able to play both.
But... So then maybe discard Vigilance and hold Like Water because there's a decent chance we'll hit Meditate. How likely is it? We're looking at 14 cards. We're about to discard 4, so there'll be 10.
Yeah,
So
we draw
one-
Like
one
Water
in
as one
5.
of them, and then we've got
Mhm.
2 draws to find the Meditate.
Out of the 10, which is not ideal.
Not ideal.
maybe it
at
is.
all.
What? Yeah.
I think it's just this.
I agree.
Wait, and then we are necessarily trying to draw into it. Right?
Yes.
So then we leave Flurry of Blows. Just increments the Nunchaku. We get to use it 2 times even, and then we can get an extra energy.
Okay.
But
Okay.
then what are we even doing with the extra energy?
Playing.
Like Water, and there's 7 in block at the end of the turn. That's it. It's Flurry, Vigilance, Flurry, Like Water.
That's a brilliant turn. The thing that my mind is dragging on that I was trying to figure out was how do we line up the signature move and get the kill? But then I remembered that we're still Watcher, and we don't necessarily have to win that way. Like, we can We can talk to the hand, flying sleeve, bowling bash here, and do 1 million damage.
Hell yeah.
Oh, meditate the lesson learned.
Mm-hmm.
Bom, bom, bom. Bom, 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 bom.
Oh, we got it.
Nice. We've
Yeah,
got to
nothing
read
low
the
enough.
Book. Incredible.
Oh, the upgrades are really coming fast and furious. Hey, that is the only source of divinity that we are going to get. It's pre-upgraded. I know it's against a wish. We have the limiting factor of having to play around the lessons learned already. I don't necessarily want to introduce another card we have to play around in that way.
But the gold, Rhapsody.
But
I love gold.
I love gold.
I love gold.
This is just so much extra damage with divinity. My brain right now is going divinity deck, amp it by another 50%.
Just listen to the pulsing of the heart in the back and make sure that you keep that in mind. Frankly, our deck is not terribly far away from being able to beat the heart. And so there's options here. One of the options is skip. And one of the options is gold. And one of the options is crush joints, which is a good option. It probably does a better job deleting the champ.
I don't think we're
It's
going to have
one
trouble
shot.
deleting the champ is the thing.
No, we won't.
What's the percentage between these two? Is this 51-49 or is it 75-25?
What, of my pick right?
Yeah.
Can I actually, may I see our deck? I need to not meme myself here. I was about to say 100-0. I was about to say that I always take the wish. But here's an important thing to count. If you type sort, devotion, foresight, like water, mental fortress. We've got like 4 real block cards. And then block via our incidental sources, right? Talk to the hand, mental fortress, like water, a vault. This deck is getting real close to like 1/3 do nothing.
Yep.
But wish does something. It gives you gold.
It does. Unfortunately, gold doesn't do anything in the fight.
Actually, plated armor is block.
It
so
is.
If you're about to die, you can spend 3 energy to die by 8 points less on that turn.
That's
Dude, I think this
value
is a
right
skip.
there. Over the crush joints?
This is why. Think about our end game.
Uh-huh.
How are we getting through artifact? Watcher solves this problem with wave of the hand, usually. And without a wallop in the deck, I'm not convinced that the vulnerable really helps us very often compared to just drawing to signature move or tantrum. So I think if I'm not taking wish here, I skip.
Let's do that then. I also kind of just want to upgrade a block card to be more dense.
I like that or lesson learned. I like the lesson learned upgrade a lot. Makes it easier.
It feels like it's not hard for us to land that right now.
It is not hard for us to kill things. It might be trickier in the elite fights. We got pretty lucky there, I think, with that ordering. Ooh! I like that a lot.
Huge for us.
Talk to the...
Delete the enemy? Do we just skip this fight so that we don't lose this much HP? Talk to the hand, it's tantrum, and then it's signature move for 80 damage.
Yeah, because we don't want to take this damage. I agree. An empty mind is too expensive. Boop. Bye. Lesson unlearned.
2 explosive potions. I'm feeling pretty good about the upcoming elite fights.
That's Cut Through Fate plus. And we do have some consistency problems.
It's true. There's also a world where Cut Through Fate plus... No cards!
No more scry.
No.
No cards. No scry. We don't want it.
There is a world where Cut Through Fate is also just like, we've got a giant divinity turn. We just need to see another card to hit with.
Yes. Yes. It is actual draw or replacement at least. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thwack! Let's go. And we have double explosive potion in case everything goes horribly wrong. It won't. Oh, we can kill one this turn.
We can and we have to. It's going to be the best damage prevention.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
1, 2 gives us an energy. Miracle. Vigilance. Defend. We're already defended on this turn.
Would you consider yourself to be a Spice Lord?
Yeah, you know what? I would say I'm probably Capsaicin King. Is
wow.
The area I'm in? I'm in
King Cap.
Exactly. I imagine the route is, can I handle spicy food? Or is it doing spicy things in game?
Oh, I really was just speaking words. I often don't have a real... When I'm in broadcast mode, you know, there's no thinking. Just a fluid motion.
Definitely know the feeling. I've got a good capsaicin
really
tolerance. Yeah, I used to have a garbage one. Like the joke I would tell is like Doritos are too spicy for me. And then I told that joke enough times that people thought I was serious, and then they would say, like, in conversations where I wasn't, oh, right, yeah, no, Ryan's spice tolerance is really bad. Doritos
and then you
are
had
too
like a
spicy
spice training montage or something?
Yeah, awesome. my partner is Pete. He's an excellent chef, and he's also Thai. So I have eaten.
You had no choice.
Real hot foods, and I've adapted to the point that like I have a really good spice tolerance. Kind of, Peak has said, like in the same realm as his. I just would not want to eat it as consistently as he does.
You are a spice lord. That's so interesting.
We got to go for victory.
Let's delete this knob. Absolutely. I had a friend at a previous job. It turns out, you know, the Hot Ones YouTube series, very good. Excellent host. They're really really good stuff.
Sean Evans does great work.
You can order the spices from that show, the sauces, and I had a group of friends who ordered them and tried them out, and I was expecting it to be outrageous because I've watched these people just get crushed by these spices, right? And they ordered them and they were like, were they spicy? Yeah. But even the most spicy one was just like maybe about what you expect from Thai street food. And so it's just our relative perspective on spice is so broad around the world.
It really is.
Just the unflinching attitude of like, yeah, they were spicy, I guess. I was so startled.
I felt a tingle.
I definitely noticed the spice as it existed inside my body. GG.
GG.
Oh, baby. And the lesson. Ooh. That just increased our hard equity by like 50%.
A ridiculous amount. That's so good for us.
Huge upgrade.
I think we're still not taking any of those. I kind of want to drop one of the explosives just for the Distill Chaos here.
I would drop the essence.
Oh, did that too soon.
I like it either way.
Meditate's still in the draw pile. 9,
are you
7,
thinking about
16.
distilled here?
Yeah. So 7, 9, 16, 6, 22. We're short on being able to kill the slaver with that.
By 1. Okay, what about this? Like water, devotion, talk to the hand, the back line, and then distilled.
Yep. Yeah, that's...
I feel like it splits the difference pretty well. Now, there is a world to where we're very sad by this play, but we're not in it. That's so nice.
Thankfully, that world is not ours.
I think that was like a probabilistically strong play, but admittedly, I got to it really quickly. Is this literally Consecrate Vault and just build towards Divinity the next turn? Skip nothing here.
Yep. I was thinking of the world where it's like, you know, set up the calm for like calm, like water rather.
It does feel weird to waste the Horncleat value, but it's not going to feel like waste when we nuke the enemy here. I might skip. a fair few of these cards.
That seems like a reasonable thing to be doing.
Oh,
yeah, we just
Flurry,
have straight
Eruption.
up lethals.
I would eruption first so that
What? We
have-
use that as a finish. Is
Oh!
there.
we're killing them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good call. I didn't realize that we had the triple lethal. Nice.
Mhm.
Vision.
Across the board. I think
I'm ready.
again we
I'm re-
can't take that fasting.
I know, and this is weird because see a fasting, take a fasting. Like, I think fasting is very universally takeable, but this ain't the deck. And we already have way too much power pressure as it is. Under pressure. Oh.
Why did we have to
Pressure.
pushing down on you?
Well, it's okay. This is still fine.
Just wanted to get the signature move out. If I don't do that, how will people know it's me? It's my signature move.
Snecko, thank you. What a beautiful hand.
Absolute gift. So it'd be 32 total. We can't use the tantrum then. Right, it's 4 instances, 6 instances, it's 18. Actually, yeah, it pays for itself. There you go.
I was gonna say. Are you trying to get back to lesson learned?
Yep. We'll get
With
there.
the divinity, we don't even need the consecrate. We can toss all this.
I was thinking empty mind for reach.
Okay.
Oh no, but it's in the draw pile, so we don't need the empty mind. If we just throw that. Yeah, there we go. Good point.
Vault up.
Oh,
Nice.
there's some options that we still... I think it's just reach heaven, and we just take it.
Really?
Yeah. Through Violence is going to retain. It makes, no matter when our Divinity Pop turn is, it makes it great.
Do we need more damage?
It's a fair question.
Like, what fight do we need an extra 60 damage hit in right now?
The world where signature move doesn't go off, and we're up against a boss.
And then we just kill it with tantrum, right?
Yep.
I do not think that we're wanting for damage. I think what we're wanting for is reach. The only turns that are bad are the turns where we just don't draw our cards that kill the enemy. That being said, if we see another cut through fate, I'm going to argue for it very, very solidly. Well, it is reach, so, you know.
Mm-hmm. I think we use that on the Mad Gremlin, pop the explosive potion, clearing those two, and try and use cut through fate to try and draw to some defense.
So do we bowling bash first because it just says 30 damage, or do we not? Do we not care?
I think in the worlds where, like, Bowling Bash... Like, 30 damage is great, but I think in the world where we whiff on the, that, we have to go then empty mind and look for defense.
It's only 18 damage. Not the end of the world. Like, if we took 18 damage total in this fight, that would be very, very strong. And Wrath signature move kills if we bowling.
Don't want to have to rest before the champ.
Do we have to rest?
If we took 18 damage here, yeah. Otherwise, we'd just
Yeah, you
die
think
on
16
turn
too low.
1 sometimes.
Pretty often, right? Okay. Okay. And we close the fight so quickly.
It's 4 defense for free.
Can
We're
we
not in
win?
calm. Can we win? Oh, like use the eruption in the bowling bash. That's 9. Another 60. It's a good amount of damage, but I don't think it'll close it. The
can win
divinity
with Ambrosia,
starts
but
from
we-
the ambrosia.
We shouldn't use that. That's such a good potion.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't- I don't think we ever use it to save 18 life. Okay. A good turn.
Yeah. I'm happy with how that turned out.
And we have nunchaku value whenever we decide to use it. It's just Foresight Vault, right?
Trying to see the world if it's anything else for trying to set up for future cards.
Do you ever drop the lesson learned, hold, meditate, so that you can then meditate the lesson learned? We don't think we're lethal this turn.
Yes. I like
Now
that.
we're talking strategy. Deep strategy.
Now we're talking thinks.
Oh, third eye, and then we can have even more targets for meditation. There's only 4 cards in the draw pile.
There we go. It's the lesson, and it's... Where did I put it?
Tantrum, bottom right.
Oh no, it was the flying sleeves. Did I not discard that? Did I just
Is that
leave
the
it in
last
the
card of
deck
the draw?
instead? I may have just left it in the deck instead for some reason there.
Which is fine. I mean, it's all these roads are going to Rome, baby. If Rome is learning a lesson and killing the enemy, then we're headed there.
We don't have devotion out.
We don't.
We didn't play devotion on turn 1. I thought we played devotion on turn 1. Whoops.
Tantrum.
Give me tantrum.
Angie. Angie.
I'm extremely angry. I want a tantrum. It's fine. We'll just scry through the rest of the deck and get back to it.
Yeah, we draw through almost the entire deck. Just
No,
discard
no,
every card. No.
This is not what we want. And we have the ability to close out the fight whenever we... There we go.
We are going to close out the fight whenever because Mercury Hourglass keeps on going.
Ooh.
We are really, really, really strong, except for that one turn where we draw nothing. Which means this is skip.
Yep.
Yeah.
We got
We
enough
definitely,
nothings
we don't need
in the deck.
blasphemy.
I don't think we
Plenty of
need to
nothing.
upgrade any of those anymore. I think these are passively going to get upgraded, and we could just rest for safety here.
That
We
is
could
a
even recall.
brilliant ladder streak play. I love the recall. I think we win against the Chomp. I would be totally willing to use the Essence of Steel if it saves us any life in this fight.
16. Well, it could save us life on the first turn, but we should probably pop out the Cut Through Fate, just see if that... I mean, we could just draw into and play a signature move for 40 damage, but I don't think that's the play. Just throw them all.
No, we're going to win with 400 damage.
40
Nice.
damage isn't cool. You know what is cool? 400 damage. We over-defended that turn. I didn't need to do as many as we did. It's fine. It happens. Yes, supreme
more
over-defense.
I feel very good about having this Deceive Reality. It's paying for itself.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll pay for itself in this fight, too. Smart.
Skip a turn with the Vault and just keep going for it. The enemy is about to weaken us, so like a big bop-off turn next turn is probably not great. No, we're not weakened. Huh?
That's the Vuln.
Whoops.
Vuln Frail. Does Champ weaken at all? Champ does weaken. That's a
Yeah.
separate move, though, right?
Yeah, I think it is. It's the one that I keep forgetting is the one that actually provides the weak.
Talk to me like champions do. Face Slap is what gives us Frail and Vuln. Taunt is what gives us Weak and Vuln. The Taunt does no damage. And I think the Taunt happens every 4 turns or something. Yes. Taunt is on a schedule. The others are rotating.
Right. That makes sense. That makes sense. There's the Prostrate that actually gets us into form. We can go for a giant damage turn this turn. Well, actually, we're already in form, apparently.
I get... You know how some professionals have like a focus face they make? You know, like Michael Jordan had the tongue stuck out thing when he was going in for the dunk or
Mhm.
whatever. Every once in a while, it's a weirdness as a creator being able to see your own face on screen. Every once in a while, I get very focused and slay the Spire staring at a hand, and then I look and I perceive myself, and it's this most earth-shattering experience. It's so odd. It's very odd. I look down and I'm like, oh, that guy's focused.
Mm-hmm. It has the power of, like, so many people have seen this face in this context before, and this is what they felt.
Yeah.
Our kill, a smoke bomb for free. Do we want to be super divine, or do we want to play correctly?
Oh, I don't know that it is wrong to take the second devotion. I think it is. I think that this is Scrawl, but 2 devotion is 7 mantra a turn.
7 mantra a turn means every other turn we have +3 energy. That
As it is
a
right
lot.
now, we have 4 mantra a turn, which is kind of an awkward number.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got 1 prostrate to work with it. And theoretically, we have up to scry 8, which is stupid. I actually quite like this, and then we just need to fight so many fights and get Wallop. Like, Wallop is the ingredient that is missed.
Let's do it. I think it's also
Fusion
really
hammer.
good because it does give us the ability to kind of avoid any energy relic if we need to. We still take the fusion hammer here, but it would have
It's a
given us
great
the ability.
find. That's like the ideal with the lesson learned. That has no downsides for us, basically.
Mm-hmm.
To be fully upgraded.
There is a 4 elite path. 1, 2, 3, 4. No midline rests.
Oh boy, that's okay. We don't need to upgrade. Oh, we're gonna be rich for this shop too.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, the
Both of our
shop's gonna be
shops are really high powered.
good.
Which is good because we really don't have an absurd number of relics right now considering max elites. It's strong, but we're not finding a bunch of chests, we're not getting a bunch of event relics, and we even took Thwack. Huh. It is kind of weird to say we don't have an absurd amount of relics when we picked up 8 last act.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
We just don't have an absurd amount of them, though. It's the big problem.
I want to see 2 rows, you know. I want to see the bar scroll off. Excuse me.
There we
One
go.
of my mustache hairs has gone rogue. Don't be like that. Go home. Go home. You're drunk. Go back.
Don't you know you're home? Hey, it finally upgraded itself.
The self upgrade is always very cute. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty
Alright.
good.
We'll take it. Let's take it.
I love taking fights. I love it because we just want cards. And we're so good at fighting.
It is really, really ridiculous how effective we are here.
And if we ever aren't good at fighting, we just click on the smoke bomb.
Is
I
this
don't know
it?
who would bait that out.
No. Wait. Still could be.
Through fate. Find. Sorry. It's upgraded
Found it.
too. Yes. Yes. That's awesome.
Come on! Drop the essence, keep the rest, go for the fairy in a bottle, save our lives.
I think so. I think so. I mean, really, we could drop the smoke bomb, but this is fun. I like this.
I think it's conclude. We've got AoE like reasonable, right? Through the consecrate and through the bowling bash. A conclude could be a huge amount of damage against the Spire shield and spear. We've got Donu and Decker, so that's another AoE fight up there. The elite fights on this floor aren't necessarily AoE, but it is more density for a Reptomancer fight for being able to remove the daggers.
I don't mind it for those fights. I don't mind it. It is, if we are at all worried about taking damage, and particularly Repto, then we take it. If we aren't, then I don't think that it's necessarily more damage for Spire, Spear, and Shield and for Donu Deka than just getting to lesson or getting to signature move. That's a big thing for us at this point, is that we don't really need AoE because we can nuke single targets as long as we get to the right card. So if I take this conclude, it's because triple Jawworm or Reptomancer still scare me a bit.
I don't think they need to.
Maybe not. It's especially with the potions we have. Maybe not.
Would you like the third cut through fate?
How many unupgraded cards do we have?
I believe it's 5 at the moment. 1,
But one of them is
2,
a strike that we're about to remove.
3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's 5, and one of them's the strike we're about to remove.
I do think I take this card with double devotion.
Let's do it. Master strategy. Master strategy remove.
What about medkit remove?
Medkit.
Maybe we don't need it. We've got 2 foresights.
You're blowing my GD mind here. The medkit.
Just because we're cycling pretty tight. So it just makes... No, with cut through fate in the... No, you're right. You're right. This is, yeah. I agree.
Cool.
Now, do we also buy this artifact potion?
Right, find a later. Do we have a later shop? We do not have a later shop on our path, but we do have the shop next floor, so the ability to keep the dex, the ability to keep the strength, the ability to prevent the vulnerability from the second turn, first turn rather, of the heart.
Honestly, just blocking the vulnerable is huge already.
It's got a lot of value in that. I like it. I like it, especially in my Ascension 20 runs a lot of the time. Well, getting up towards Ascension 20. A lot of the time, I will take a speculative Ancient pot into the floor 3, and it's just for the speed pot or for the flex pot or something such like that.
It's because it's a winning move. It's a winning. I mean, 5 dexterity or 5 strength is a ton for any of the classes.
You know what we need is anchor.
That's so true. Bag of prep is probably the best anchor for us, but I would absolutely take more boat parts. I mean, you know how I feel about boats.
It's a matter of public record.
It is. Yeah, you can look it up. It's true. Paradise gained. Can we win on this turn?
We'll have the energy as well. Let's drop that. Yep.
Time for fun. Can we win with lesson learned?
It's in the discard pile, so no. We are the theoretical furthest from what we possibly can be, because meditate's also in the discard pile.
Can we cycle back to it?
Third Eye scries everything except for vaults, and then we just set them to low HP.
Low HP, blocking effectively as we can.
Okay, take the cut through fade, I guess. Just keep the cycle going.
Don't stop the cycle.
Actually, hang on. Can we just draw it right now and go? No.
We have an empty mind too.
Okay, that's the last we can do in drawing for it, except for
yeah,
this.
We don't have nunchaku.
Dropping those.
Oh, but we had meditate, or we have the miracle, right?
We'll be starting. No, it's.
Mercury Hourglass.
Yeah, we'll be starting a turn, so that will trigger.
That's okay. We got nunchaku to a good place. It was worth. More prostrate.
Do we need another prostrate?
Would you like to be divine every turn?
Yes, in fact, I would.
How do you feel about always divine? This is a perfectly good fight for Ambrosia if we need to use it. Perfectly good.
If it's secure to kill this turn already, I'd be happy with it.
Right? Maybe this is... Is Eruption Cut Through Fate too bold? Probably, because we only get 1 card. Just Cut Through Fate and try to find Master Strategy?
Yeah. God damn, there it is.
Oh. Okay. We kill one of them this turn. Is that worth it? Ambrosia Pod is very good. But with a second Prostrate and 2 Divinity, or 2 Devotion, in slower fights than this, we're divine every turn anyway. What we need help with right now is consistency in fast fights. And so now we can Eruption, pop Ambrosia, and kill one, save ourselves 16 life, dramatically simplify the fight. It's got to be worth it, right?
I think it is, yeah.
Can we just kill one without the Ambrosia, though? We can.
We can, but then we'll take
Then
32
we take
back
32.
on the...
Right. So we pop Ambrosia and kill the back line.
Yes.
Cool. I think that was worth, don't you? I think
Yeah, healing is going to be really, really, really annoying for us. Like, it's the midline lack of rests in between all of these elites that makes me feel like any option that takes less damage is the correct one.
We have no sustain.
It's very true. Us, we have sustain, but it's
Well,
in the form of coming back to life twice.
And that's for later. Okay, that's the Phoenix down. We don't use this.
It's too good
It's
to
for
use
the-
right now.
It's for the post-game mega boss, which we will never get to because we do so many side quests that we just eventually stop playing the game.
Mm-hmm. That's
We
how it
don't
always
use
works. That's the ritualistic way of approaching that.
That's right.
Anything else there?
This is for later.
We haven't gone past. Yeah, we haven't gone past the lessons learned. That's fine. Great.
I'm glad
and then
that
we
you
get to
pushed
end
back
with
on
that.
Medkit because I was really excited about it at first, but the thing with Medkit is, do you want a Sash Whip?
Yeah, against the heart, I really do. It's pre-upgraded as well,
Yeah.
so we can do it
We
on
just
turn
haven't
1 or
found
turn
wave.
2.
And we haven't found the Wallop, so I quite like it. The thing about Medkit is that Medkit matters when either the card play of playing the statuses is useful, the exhaust is useful, which is frequently true for Ironclad, or you will redraw your deck multiple times. Because if you're redrawing once or not any, then exhausting the status did nothing for you. It like blocked for 2 if you exhausted a burn. And it's only useful if you're redrawing multiple times and you don't have draw control. But we have Scry 8. A handful of statuses doesn't matter for us at all. Want to win?
I like winning, but
Kill.
I also like not winning yet.
Learning. I also love learning.
Oh, come on, lessons learned, please.
Cut through fate, we'll get it.
It won't, but Empty Mind will. Ooh.
Yo.
Ooh.
Ooh. Clicky.
We got blocked now.
Dude. Okay. So, hindsight being as it is, 2020. I think there's a world where even after picking up Damaru, we literally skip Devotion, and then we skip the next Devotion, and we take the one other Tantrum, and the deck is just as good and it's more consistent. And this is the reason that I have trouble taking the Divinity cards, is because they are mostly do nothing when you play them if you don't have enough draw.
I'm not certain that's correct. Now,
Really?
The reason I'm not certain that's correct now, hindsight's 2020 again, is because we have seen 0 copies of Rushdown.
True.
The world's the way that we fund a lot of the time our ability to draw ridiculously through the deck is off of the back of the energy provided to us from the other as well.
We also haven't seen Inner Peace. We've seen some Tranquility, but we're not finding consistent sources of calm to generate a bit of energy on the back of like Inner Peace Tantrum. Even without Rushdown, that's still an engine. Yeah, that's a good point.
We've seen 2 halts, which would have been good.
Yeah.
And
this is. Do you want to?
We've seen
do you
2.
wanna look at 3 cards here?
Actually, you know what? We've seen 2 halts, and we've also seen 2 fastings.
Yes.
Your version of the deck would have
taken some of those cards. Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's hard to
talk
think
the hand with Tantrum. It is. There's so many paths to win, and the lesson that I've been learning with particularly, I would be okay with looking at 3 here. By the way, it might be correct.
No,
Our rare offset is in a decent place. I don't know how it affects this event, but like to pick up a Dark Shackles and another Master of Strat. Wow, it's all the cards I want. Cool.
Let's see if we get all of them in the other one as well. I mean, Panacea, I could totally rock. Trip as well. I mean, that's a vulnerability that I kept asking for. I think nothing on this though.
If we had Bag of Prep, I think I click that Dramatic Entrance. Is Master of Strategy better than Dark Shackles for us?
Yes. Because our opening
Yes.
is so rough.
And as much as I want Dark Shackles for multi-hits from the Heart and others, we do have Lizard Tail and a Fairy in a Bottle. We really do have a path by which we can just take a bit of damage on those hits. What we need is to be consistent in fights. So maybe this is a skip. Because the Panacea for us is being taken to block enemy debuffs. But we have 32 cards in the deck.
What about the trip? So we do have Gambling Chip, which we picked up.
Oh, true.
We have the 2 Masters of Strategy. We have an Empty Mind. We have 3 copies now of Cut Through Fate. I think Trip isn't too much to add into the deck.
But in that case, suddenly, like, maybe Panacea is not so bad. But what is it blocking? We've got Artifact Potion to block Vulnerable, we hope.
Frailty doesn't really affect us in that fight.
No, it really doesn't. Yeah.
I
can do Trip or Skip. I can do Trip or Skip.
I do want a vulnerability in here just because I love a vulnerability on a divinity turn.
Totally.
So we can get 7 block from the combination of these 2. Or we could
definitely
throw hard way down the deck.
Oh, and we're not going to win next turn because intangible.
Do we ever throw Miracle? For a draw?
Yeah, we have 5 energy now. Yeah, I like that turn a lot.
Still got the Sash Whip at least.
Yeah, post Consecrate. It's good. Cool.
Could have
Really
been
not a
better,
bad
could have been
turn.
worse.
This is why we're taking so much draw and really limiting addition of cards that aren't giant.
Mm-hmm.
But so to complete the thought that I had before while we navigate these first couple turns.
Yep.
Watcher is pretty close to objectively at this point the class with the highest ceiling for consistency. That's not to say that she is easy or broken, far from. I think that the class is very hard, super difficult to learn, super micro-intensive and turn order focused. But judging by lots of different really excellent players, the class which is most closely approaching 100% win rate at Ascension 20 is this one.
Mm-hmm.
And the more Ascension 20 that I play, the more I find that Watcher is the one class which most directly wants to thin deck daddy like you used to. Really, you can skip a lot with this class, much more than I do. Scry is good glue, so you can get away with taking more cards, but you can basically just not play with Divinity at all a lot of the time, and you'll end up with a deck which has less do-nothing hands. And do-nothing hands are pretty much the thing that kills you with Watcher, right? Do-nothing hands, the 2 things that kill you a lot at Ascension 20 are do-nothing hands and hands that, or decks that fail to bring together a block core.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of the strongest block cards are uncommon. Talk to the Hand, Wave of the Hand, stuff with hands on it. You've got Mental Fortress is a super, super, super effective block card. But it's
Sorry.
really hard. I mean, it's hard to say no to the combo pieces.
It really is, and a lot of them, like...
Oh, we have Boot. Okay, we'll get it.
We do, yeah, that's my consideration there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pass those 2, it's fine.
But we also have Mercury Hourglass.
We do. We... I guess just
Third Eye Vault.
third eye all the way down there.
Anyway, I'm struggling to approach this point in the most direct way, but it's something along the lines of Watcher is very strong. She has so many strong options that one of the best ways to lose is to take too many strong options.
Mm-hmm.
I like a Third Eye Plus. Sure.
Yeah, it's just an independent stands by itself block card. We've also got the extra little pump from Oldie Smooth Stone getting it to the 10.
So here, this is how I think about this card. If there were a card that said 1 cost, block 10, draw 5,
Mm-hmm.
would you ever skip that card?
No.
Very rarely. Very
Let me
rarely.
just let me think about that.
Let me,
Best card I've ever
No.
heard of. Yeah, you know what? I might take that a couple times. Let's go all the way down to those. Don't do the big one. All right, we're all good. All right, that's
So fascinating.
it's got to be damage. Ah, slash me. I always mess up the order of that. I'm like, this is valuable now. Oh, but I can play a different thing first, and I should.
I think my brain is having this like enlightenment moment because in the days of yore, we had Silent, who frequently built this deck that just had like a bunch of these incidental quality powers. Footwork, noxious fumes, things like, you know, thousand cuts.
Mm-hmm.
And you wanted to take a lot of them. And so then you built a deck that was very large and you put a bunch of like acrobatics in it to dilute the powers so that you didn't get do nothing hands. And so the initial brain response is, okay, so to play Watcher, you do the same. You take a bunch of strong powers and then you put in glue cards. And you have Scry, so you can absolutely play like that. But I think my realization and my conclusion is that a lot of times the faster way to do it is to just not take any of the powers.
It's
Because
difficult.
Watcher's
It's so
damage output is so
tempting, though.
strong. I know, and this run is great. I wouldn't undo this run because it's clearly working, and I do think it'll work through the heart. Like, never count your eggs before they're hatched and slay the Spire. We've got plenty more Spire to go. But I'm trying to extend it. Eventually, we're going to have to play Watcher and the Ascension teens and 20. And so the question becomes, do we skip aggressively in that circumstance? And I don't know. I'll just have to look at it and think about it. Goodness.
Yeah.
Dum-ba-dum.
It's rougher to do there. The Ascender's Bane makes so much difference. That first cycle being small,
It
but
does.
having cards like that in it is... Oh, it's just... It hurts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No,
Oh.
that's daft, right?
Can we, like, win? I don't think it would be horribly ridiculous to drop those 3 cards. We have an energy pot. Yeah, exactly.
Oh. Oh, wrong ones. All right.
I think we're, like, basically have to try to kill Repto next turn. Whoa.
We have so much Scry. Drop those
Oh,
two,
this is
drop
Ascension
that.
4. She only summons 1 dagger. Oh.
She's hardly
Everyone.
even worth fighting at all.
Hey, what do we... Just hand me your relic. Go home. Live a little longer.
And there's...
How to
No!
play the less...
Did I clicked the wrong thing. Now, okay, never mind. We can see the screen again. Whew.
Okay, but did you cheat in that half a second?
I'll never tell.
Can't believe it. I really liked this series, but it's clear that Raps and Teak are ruthless cheaters.
That's why we succeeded in every season. So wait, hang on.
Quick, close the console. They'll know. Hackermans win.
You can see I added an offering to my hand.
Is that what you did? Is that how you won?
It's the only way I can these days.
That's a lot of enemies, you know, when you think about it.
Is. It's just a hell of a lot of them right there.
It's weird how frequently we're just dumping this miracle, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
How excited are you for the bag of prep that we're going to get in Act 4? Or like from this elite next floor? Pretty excited.
I'm excited for the one we get from the elite next floor. The one the one that we get in the store next door, next floor, rather. I don't know if that's the one for me, you know?
That one is
Unlucky to me.
I forgot about that. Oh, man.
I may have thought of nothing ever since that, except that.
It's the only thing that exists now. This turn is fairly unlucky to me. Holy moly. Oh! Maybe
There's the block. I always knew it was there.
It was always coming. Double prostrate sure does make that oddly smooth stone feel super smooth.
Don't it just?
Trip, how you feel with it so far? Worth the slot?
Not against the enemies we've been fighting so far, but that wasn't why I wanted it.
I agree. It's one more way to strip Artifact too, and you know, there's certainly a world to where we're thankful for Trip to just help us get a talk to the hand online. Want collector's bonus on that sucker?
I'll always meme for a collector's bonus. I had a long series doing dailies. That's speaking my language right there.
I don't even think it's memes, dog. We have a lantern and divinity every other turn. Frequently every turn. Each one that we play is blocking for 6 once we're set up. I mean, I'm talking about setup numbers, but that's because I'm thinking about the last 3 fights. You're getting ahead of yourself, Teak, don't you think? Slow down.
It's not just you. I'm clicking the mouse constantly. I can't. I think because there's so many options in this game, or rather specifically this deck is so option dense that it's so difficult for me to focus, such that clicking the mouse is kind of like a grounding thing for me. It's kind of like a stimming kind of thing.
Ding, ding, ding. You're cruising, dude. Look at the time on the clock.
Yeah.
The fastest Raps and Teak run ever.
No kidding, no kidding. I did think just a moment ago, wait a second, we didn't cut for a break, but also, it is just going that quick.
Fights in fast spaces.
Who could have known that was going to be as predictive as it was?
No lie. Oh, wow. Oh, we're like Blancs.
Yeah, I mean, playing a lot towards setting up the 2 talk to the hands as quickly as we can.
Do you ever have like a primal demon crawl across the roof of your house for just like a couple seconds?
Always.
Always,
What?
most days. Probably just a tree branch that fell and then animated and walked away based on the sound I just heard.
Look, that's a drunk ent right there.
Actually, it could have been an animal. There's plenty of squirrel, possum.
Maybe it was a
Rodentia
drop bear.
mammalia varietals.
Maybe you got drop bears over there now.
That is spooky. Yeah.
You're right, they are.
Is it because... Okay, people in the comments are always like, Teak, it's really incredible that you fly to Australia every week to record these episodes with Rhapsody. So am I
Much
really just
appreciated,
hearing the backyard? Because I expect that every house is... It's like the scene from Harry Potter with Aragog and all the spiders.
Mm-hmm.
That's just every house in Australia, right? All the time.
Yeah.
You open
No,
the
it's
pantry and
spot on.
there's a 3-foot-long spider that's just staring at you, and you're like, "Oh, Bill, how you doing?"
Yeah, exactly. And they've
Just
just got a cup of Joe. Exactly.
I knew it.
Oh,
I
hey,
knew
Greg. Yeah, no, it's a good time. What are you looking for? The Scotch fingers. All right, there. I'll get them for you. You have a good day at work, sweetie.
Got coffee in 3 hands. Okay, Bill.
This one's
All
decaf,
right.
this one's caffeinated, and this one's a mixture of the 2, just in case I don't know how I feel that day, you know?
We're worried about you, Bill.
I'm doing
much, Joe.
fine.
How about a wheel kick?
It's not bad, right? It's got draw. It's decent damage. And with the energy that we're going to be generating from the divinities, like draw is what we're looking for, and draw a card that has damage as well. I mean,
Like, I know that you don't like to edit, but in a world where you did, surely there would be a sweet flashback scene right there where you show me saying at like 19 cards that we don't need to add any more cards and that we can just skip for the rest of the run, right? Because we have almost 40.
I may cut you out saying that and then add the thing over the top of it. Or maybe I do none of them. Who knows?
Oh, bro. No, but we won't have any money next time.
But that's a master of strategy in the opening hand.
Exactly. Exactly. So much value.
That's the bag of prep you were asking for, right? Because master of strategy is going to be drawn, so it costs us a card, and then it gives us 2 more cards. That's bag of prep, baby. It's an expensive bag of prep, but it's bag of prep.
Actually, upgraded Master of Strat is 4 cards, right?
It's just neither of them are upgraded yet.
Yet. But is it ever... What are our fears?
That we don't hit...
Failure,
it's literally just failure to hit the
darkness,
upgrades.
Small spaces, height. Card games.
Yep.
Flamingos with teeth. Yeah. Lots of fears.
I'm just constantly at a 10 in terms of panic every time. I'm just playing card. I started playing card games on YouTube, and then they started getting successful on YouTube, and then I decided like I had to continue
because you were
going
to do a horror series.
Me. Of course, I actually did start out with Outlast. Was one of the first games I did.
That's wild. That's wild, man. Oh man.
Had blue hair
I think
back
it really is just the best play, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just consistency.
It is. It's massively consistent. I mean, I'm not upset to make the good play. And we found our sustain, ultimately, in the end. And hey, we're being rewarded for our deck. 21 HP. Pretty nice.
I kind of want to just take these, because the Deceive Reality, as well as the copy of it afterwards, will take 1 damage this turn. And that's only if we don't even find an entry to Calm. But it'll get a lot of our setup out.
Okay. Getting the double devotion down, I mean, like, then we're done. It's cute. We could play Signature Move on this turn if we wanted to, but I don't.
Yeah, we only want to play it when it does all of everything. In fact, extra draw from the Centennial Puzzle may have even been a reason to want to take that damage that turn.
True, because now we have all this value. Oh, and it really is a lot of value. If we could play double prostrate on this turn, then we are permitted to win. Otherwise, we'll have to wait a turn or 2 to win. How do you
I
feel
love
about
that the choices between those two. Like, I'd feel great if we were in Divinity this turn.
It's still potentially draw 4 right here if you are searching for something. Like,
I am searching for something. That's what I was searching for.
nice.
Let's get the other Foresight out as well.
I think this deck is really, really strong.
Do we do have a Prostrate in the upcoming cards. Okay. How are we actually gonna block?
Draw. Discard the flurries too.
That makes
They'll
sense.
come to us. Are we about to just go divine? Do we only need 1 prostrate?
We are about to go Divine.
Yeah.
But like, what are we doing with it? Going into Tantrum and then regretting it because we just invited a bunch of damage into our home? Maybe
What else
this
is in the
is
draw
it.
pile? Yeah, what are we
It's true.
drawing towards?
Devotion, Vault, Wheel Kick. Yeah, we'll definitely get Vault and Wheel Kick if we do this.
Wheel kick. Yeah. Yeah. You just pitch it.
Okay.
It is time to draw.
It's none of these we want to necessarily try and draw next turn again.
Do we ever vault over meditate? Just like roses.
Do we have a eruption meditate instead? We've got the 6, so we get 12 more block from that, and then we also end in calm, so we get another 7. We get 19 more block. We fully block the incoming turn. It just doesn't skip a turn for the sake of vault, but it does leave
For
vault
this-
there. And
The argue for vault is you don't want to see this buff, but I think your line is correct because we don't care about this buff. We just want to maximize our pressure and then win.
It gets important cards back in hand in the wheel kick, especially considering Divinity is not too far from us should we decide to dig for it, which I'm gonna do.
It's never far.
Find us Divine! Why? Get Divine!
Wait.
Thank you. Good
I
lord.
the third eye first was the safe play, but we found it.
Safe.
Who cares about safety? This is a dangerous ladder.
Safety is just
Full
a
of
long way to say
dangerous
boring. I've always believed that. And if I've ever said anything to the contrary, I was lying at the time.
Oh, more like ladder bleak. You have any fun? That was not worth any laughs. I'm so
No,
thankful that you
it's the world
offered
I'm
this.
imagining in my mind of like someone trying to dunk on us, and that's what they say, and it's still
Okay,
being
yeah, this is-
endearing. They're using a pun on the name.
like totally trying to throw shade, and you get a little heartwarming from it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you cared enough to know the wordplay.
We exit with that.
And it blocks.
It does. Not everything, but that's fine. We don't need everything blocked. We're in the realm where, like, I'm no longer considering things. These are just click the cards and let them go.
The only thing that matters now is like potentially trying to get Nunchaku to a decent place, but it's pretty much there.
And that'll do it.
Okay, but like, was that a lesson learned?
It was not. We did not learn any lessons there. I forgot to learn my lesson.
Don't know what you're talking about.
It's, as long as we kill Spire, Shield, or Spear, we only have 2 cards left in the deck to upgrade, and they are both the Masters of Strategy.
But one of them,
Can't get upgraded
Bottled.
by that.
I know,
Of course.
but it shan't matter. Farewell, sweet store.
We
Can
barely
kill one on
knew
turn
you.
1? Oh yeah, we totally can if we find signature move and are able to play it. So this
Yes,
is
but we
smart.
won't be divine.
Yeah, but just even literally Wrath gets us there, right? shield.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, let's take hard for that, sure. Oh.
Here is you.
Still
It
gonna
may
need
be
to
correct.
get Wrath.
To use a colorless potion in this fight, depending on what we see here. We're pretty close to the damage already with Bowling Bash and Signature. Like, we might want to start attacking Shield.
There we go.
And then what, we empty mine to it?
Yep.
Smart. I would have held the Prostrate, I think, just because now we don't have energy to play all these other attacks.
We have the ability to...
Nunchaku.
Yeah.
You're right. We can do it all. It's pretty good.
It's really good. Let's
Oh, hey.
start focusing you down. Finish that. Cut through fate to guarantee we hit just anything
Nice double kill.
else. Yeah.
Nice double kill. That's what we wanted. Potion free too. Oh, Gremlin Horn. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Hey, this is a surprisingly large amount of block for us right now.
It's
Every
really
cut
like
through
not
phase.
bad. Yeah. But
I think we skip.
I think we skip too. Empty Mind, maybe. All right. Going in. All setup cards all the time.
Do we ever just vault their first turn?
What, like Devotion? No, because we want Horncleat to do something.
Good point.
I think we just want to get to as many powers as we can. And maybe pop Colorless on this turn too. See what it's got.
Sure.
Not like
I
we
like
have Toy
that.
Ornithopter that we're playing around.
I'm gonna get the draw from. There we go.
Talk to the block. Have you ever seen the cult classic movie Attack the Block?
Attack
I think
the
I brought it
block?
up in a
No, I
previous
haven't.
show.
What's attack the block? Attack the block, rather. Sorry.
It's fantastic. It's a movie about a neighborhood outside of London that gets invaded by aliens. It's very strange. It like wants to be horror, kind of. I don't think that I could explain it before we finish Beating the Heart, truthfully.
Mm-hmm.
Just must be seen.
It wants to be horror. That is enough context. Frankly, I've experienced a lot of media in the realm of. I can see what you're trying to do here, but you missed the mark by a wide degree, friend.
Okay, what's in
Horror's
this
way
potion?
over there.
I need to know.
And you're 4 countries away.
Where are you going?
There's a fair few of our powers set up. Probably want the Sash Whip out this turn. We could prostrate our way into Divinity this turn as well. Generate a decent amount of block using those.
And Mental Fortress and stuff, yeah.
Okay. So we didn't get Mental Fortress there, but we might fish for it using the Colors Potion for a draw.
Yes. That's smart. Oh, we
We
just
can Panic Button.
Panic Button. Yeah.
That has to happen after all other block cards, right?
After other block cards that we care about getting block out of. Yes. Oh, good. This brought our Sash Whip back online. That's good. Oh, the turn is really, really strong.
We don't
I
pop
think we
Prostrate
just-
this turn.
Just skip them. Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, because we full block. Smart. And then we have a lot of damage next turn. That's good.
There's the trip, and it's in the same hand as the signature move. I feel like we're about to experience the reason I took it.
Yeah. That's damage cap on higher Ascension.
Orbital
There.
nuke inbound.
Nuclear launch detected.
It's definitely within that realm. We did get Mental Fortress. Okay, so we can take that still. As long as we cut down such that we get to Master of Strategy, I think we're fine here.
Growing up, I thought that the StarCraft nukes were only for destroying enemy buildings. And then I watched a pro player use ghost spam and then like drop nukes in the middle of battles
Mm-hmm.
because it's so chaotic that it's hard to see where the drop is.
Mm-hmm.
And the hit rate was not super high. It was like maybe 30%, but it was just a decimation when it landed. Really cool.
Yep. It would. Eruption, go for Empty Mind thereafter. That should have been Flurry of Blows in the middle there as well. Oops.
It's all good. What are you worried about?
I'm worried we're going to suddenly lose somehow.
I'm just glad that we get to free this fairy. They've earned sweet release.
Do we? Do we free them though? What if we just don't instead and just keep on keeping on all damage all the time? So that would be Trip, Consecrate, Weaken. I refuse
I mean to say,
damage.
we're not going to use it. We're just going to let go of it as we escape the tower. We're freeing it from the tower. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Right. I'm on board now.
It has been released from its duty.
Got it.
It's earned a break.
So we just set up our next hand. We need to finish with the lessons learned. There we go. That's the play.
Yes. It's happening. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Now we will have finally learnt our lesson, truly.
Come on. Come on. We made it. Yes. The deck is perfect. The trip got us there. G. G Rhapsody.
G.
How do you feel?
G-Tick. Extremely good. I gotta say, the fact that we were talking about Mantra and then we kind of willed it into existence, the fact that we got the Damaru, which was exactly what we kind of needed in order to, I feel, bait the hook, so to speak, to get you a little bit more excited about the possibility of entry into it. The fact that there was kind of like the Harbinger, the foreshadowing on the side of Worship. This is one of my favorite decks. I would have run this without 2 Foresights, and it would have been, you know, difficult. There would have been problems, right? The setup would have been a little bit easier. We did end up finding the ability to get our setup a lot easier off of the back of Lantern and Fusion Hammer just giving us energy basically for free. As well as the 2 Masters of Strategy, as well as the Gambling Chip. But I can see a world
so much
where
consistency
we don't
by the
have
end.
those. Yes.
Our mid game was weird because we didn't have these things. Between middle of Act 2 and the end of Act 3, we added 3 Cut Through Fates, 2 Masters of Strategy, Gambling Chip. We added so much consistency in that time, and draw, deck manipulation. This was really fun. Expertly piloted, by the way. I mostly got to take a back seat for the fights and just talk about Spice Lords or something, which was very zen.
I 100% required that as well, because like, while this is a deck, you know, there are a few things in here that, you know, obviously, as I mentioned, I wouldn't have necessarily gone with. I probably would have taken 1 or 2 of those cut through fates. The later ones that came pre-upgraded, I probably would not have gone for 4. I also probably would have... No, with the transform early with the meditate, I think I would have kept the light water, and I think I would have kept the mental fortress that got added, but I probably would have ended up cutting the foresight, and I wouldn't have taken the second one. Anything else here that I would have changed too heavily? I probably would have taken a cross joints at some point. But other than that, this is something that I feel pretty comfortable in the realm of.
Yeah.
I really, really, really like Divinity. It's one of my favorite things to do with Watcher. I used to do it consistently with Blasphemy, but obviously if you're going for the heart, right? Like you can do everything up until Ascension 22 bosses, but not the heart.
Yep. Yeah, it's how to concisely put this. I talked about mid-run, the trouble that I have with Divinity, which is that at Ascension 20, it often feels like you need to backdoor into it, and that a lot of the backdoors that allow you into Divinity also make you good at doing other things, right? Like, as an example, when you take that fasting, sure, it makes it easier to play prostrate, but it also just made your tantrum better. And we had some of those core cards. There's this core of very, very strong cards that strongly synergize across each other, which is like Mental Fortress, Tantrum, Fasting, Talk to the Hand, Wave of the Hand. These are really strong damage and really strong mitigation cores that synergize with almost everything. You can't go wrong with taking them, and the Tantrum starts to feel a bit awkward when you're going into Divinity because you're closing your turn with it. You're going back into Wrath. It's a little weird, right?
Yep.
But I love this deck that we made. I think it was very fun. I think it was very strong. And the big question was, would I feel confident in similar choices at Ascension 20? And I think my mistake was that we saw Damaru, we saw Devotion, so we took it. And then I started anchoring on keeping the deck smaller to quickly cycle into our key cards. I think when we astrolabed into Foresight like water, that should have been the sign to go large.
Yeah.
This class has really good glue and scry. We took 2 Third Eye Pluses, 2 Master Strategies, and 4 Cut Through Fates along with Gambling Chip. There is no reason for this deck to be 24 cards. It is happy to be 40 cards. And then you don't have those hands where you draw 5 powers.
Yep. I think Mental Fortress especially demanded that of us. We didn't find more calm entry, which like Water really would have liked. I mean, yeah, we found Tranquilities, but I'm not taking a Tranquility. It's just another setup card. Like, it's 7 block with like Water at that point, right? Like, I'm looking for Fear, No Evil, Inner Peace.
That card's great.
Looking for those kind of bridging pieces.
And Fear No Evil works great with Divinity because you can close your turn with that and still getting damage out.
I will say the reason actually that I think I was more comfortable building larger and it wasn't hard to convince me to take extra cards wasn't the Astrolabe transform. It was the relic directly prior. It was the bottle. Because the world where this deck dies, because you built large, is because you built a lot of it based around the damage you would be able to deal with Divinity and didn't hit them until the last hand.
But you're gonna hit the Devotion because it's in your opening hand. Yeah, that's a good point. So you know that with Damaru Devotion, with nothing else, you know that turn 3, you're going Divine.
Yep. And especially on turn 2, we had Horncleave as well. So, like, turn 3 being our kill 2.
Turn 3 or...
Turn 3, yeah. Because turn 1, you get 1. Turn 2, you get 4. Turn
4,
3...
you're at 9.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So you're guaranteed turn 4 if you can pick up any cards that say Divinity. You'll be there by turn 3. Yeah. That's really fast. Yeah. You know what's interesting, too, is as much as I talked it up, we never did find Wallop. And we still didn't have any trouble blocking at all.
The fact that we didn't have any trouble blocking, I think run this run, 1,000 times and don't find the 2 Talks of the Hand or don't find the Mental Fortress like Water with the ability to cycle your opening hand with the Gambling Chip to try and find the ways for them. I think Deceive Reality like lifted hard in this deck.
It was huge. I'm glad we took it.
Yes. It's not gonna ever be the card that anyone's like, oh, this made the deck, but the deck may have died without it.
Yeah, think of all the fights to where it was either an immediate burst of 19 block or it was a hold of block for a key turn later. Yeah, I mean that card probably meaningfully blocked for 100 for us.
Yep.
That's really cool.
That would be like an interesting version of Relic stats, is like hover over the card and see how much it did over the course of the run.
Agreed. That would be really cool. You know what? In a run where we don't get Talk to the Hand, we also are on 73 life with a Lizard Tail and a Fairy in the bottle. So realistically, with as fast as we were in other fights, we may have still been able to win fairly confidently by just using more health as resource.
I think also
in the
this
heart fight specifically.
Yes, definitely in the heart fight, right? Like we've got 2 more turns of life just kind of in the pocket there. I think another thing that I really appreciate about this run is something I don't always get to show off, but the Vault Divinity, like through Damaru or through Devotion action of just it. Oftentimes, especially when Vault costs 3 and you only have 3 energy, it feels like, I'm going to play a 0 cost, maybe, and then I'm going to Vault, and I'm just looking for a new hand sometimes. But being able to accomplish so much, not only on the turn before the Vault, because we had a lot of energy bumps, but then the turn after the Vault, because it was also increasing our Divinity, was great.
Yeah, when you get to see it really come together like that, and there's the super fun interaction, which we didn't see, but would have also been good. There's a little inconsistency with what effects stick around across Vault. It's kind of weird, because a turn is passing, so do your temporary buffs stick around or not? In many cases, no, but specifically, Wave of the Hand does. So you can set up a Wave of the Hand on one turn, Vault, and then play your defensive cards the next turn, and get all of the weakness. It's a super strong interaction, actually.
Today I learned that, I had no clue. I was this many years old when I, this many days or whatever it was.
I thought you said you didn't like that phrase.
I don't, but I said today I learned, and I don't like that one either, so I thought I was just going to dig.
Today I changed. Yeah.
That would be actually like an interesting idea for a forum. Like, you know what? Today I changed significantly, and this is what happened, and this is why.
That would be great. Points of massive self-change or growth. Yeah, that would be really cool.
Just an inflection point kind of situation. But, hey, GG. That was a great run. GG, Tig.
It was, and it was dense learning, and those are my favorite runs. Like, I am shocked by how much reflection I got out of this Ascension 4 run. Really happy with it. Really happy with it.
Oh, that's such great art for the
It's my favorite one, I think. Because I just like purple. Purple is such a good color.
It is my favorite color. I totally
really?
agree with you. It is. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's Bevsy's favorite color.
It's just a damn good one. Hey, hey, Tick.
Hey, Raps.
So, I've recently been hearing about this game, Loop Hero. Now, being a viewer of the Rhapsody channel here on YouTube, I don't have that lust I have to see that game yet sated. But if I did want that, perhaps to see someone's first impressions of it, perhaps to see someone focus on it before its official release for maybe even 27 hours.
Just really go ham.
Just exactly. Someone who goes really, really ham on it. Someone who, like, is known for that kind of approach to learning that I would be able to experience through watching.
Aggressive.
That.
Insatiable. Ruthless.
And
frankly, completely out of control. Yeah.
I think that would actually straddle exactly the kind of mood I'm going for. Would you happen to know anyone who has that available for me to watch on twitch.tv as a VOD? Because I'm a VOD boy through and through.
See, if you hadn't, there was all sorts of jokes that I could come up with, but somehow you always manage to leave only one option. How do you do that? How do you take a world of possible joke answers and constrain until it can literally only be me? Because I would only just be lying if I said it were someone else. It's too specific.
Exactly.
What do I do?
That's what I gotta do.
I'm trapped. I feel like I'm being trapped.
Because I know that you will.
Entrapment.
I know that you will try and find a way to not plug yourself, and I'm afraid I'm gonna have to.
There'll be none of that. There'll be none of that. Yeah, I did. I've actually streamed 40 hours of Loop Hero in 4 streams. I hit that game pretty aggressively, and it was super, super, super fun. And the VODs are good, and the highlights are there too. A couple sessions when you could only go up to chapter 2, and then a couple sessions in the 2 days before release when I had access to stream the whole game, and you can see me get pretty far. You could see me make some very serious progress before the game came out. On twitch.tv/sneakyteak.
Almost as much progress as you could.
Almost as much. I'm trying right now is desperately to not spoil you or your viewers who are waiting to experience Loop Hero with you, because I would absolutely spoil how this story ends, but it would spoil the game for you as well.
Much appreciated.
So I can't do it. But you know, play yourself and then watch, because it was a good series.
That's definitely what I'm going to end up doing. Although, that's one plug. I'm not even going to set you up for this one, because I don't want to put you on the spot like that. But in the descriptions of all of my videos, I link my Patreon channel, my Patreon channel, however you refer to it. As
Patron?
Patron, sorry, my Patron XO channel. I link down there in the description below every single time. And it is a large amount of what supports this channel, and for viewer support of the channel, it is one of the best splits, effectively. Twitch takes 50%, YouTube takes 30%, or 45%, depending on the venue. You know, a lot of the different avenues take different percentages. Patreon is significantly more generous on the side of the creator, and if you, like many others, are looking to support our resident broadcaster personality, sneakyteak.tv. You're going to get the domain, sneakyteak.twitch.tv, sneaky.teach.tweevy.
Lesson.learned.
If you are also looking for people to support on Patreon, or another way to support the resident co-host, I'll be leaving that in the description down below as well for the future videos. And this. The moment, though. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
Ciao.